Boys, welcome back to the Top Rope Commentary Podcast. It's been a while. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a hiatus.
It's been like a month almost. should we tell them why we've been gone, or should we just like leave it open-ended and let people speculate?
We should let it be ambiguous.
I like that. All right, we are back.
We jumped through the time warp. We came back.
We're back. We came back technically 2 days ago with the unboxing, but we're actually back. It is Sunday. This is being uploaded. We're recording this on Saturday. But
before NXT Halloween Havoc too.
Oh shit! Tonight?
Yeah, we should actually we should actually give a little prediction run.
We'll do that since we can't do Brady's Hate Corner.
Yeah, so we can't do
Brady's. This kid is sick. That's going to be a new segment on the podcast. This is a new style of podcast, by the way.
Dom Mysterio is safe for today.
Yes, that's 100% what I expect his first Hate Corner to be.
Safe for today.
So this is a new format to the podcast where we each bring a topic to the table and we talk about it. And that's it. It'll be 2 topics per podcast.
And just kind of a rundown of typically like wrestling news that's kind of going on through the week. Anything kind of majorly that kind of changes in the wrestling world. We'll also try to hit those notes too on the pod. And kind of like we mentioned earlier, like Brady's Hate Corner, we're going to kind of try to bring in a few more things from a few more different perspectives in wrestling and kind of just see where it goes. And, just kind of try to branch out the content on the pod a little bit.
100% on the channel as a whole, because starting next Saturday, every Saturday there will be a news series.
Yeah, just kind of a news breakdown of like the weekly rundown of kind
this
of
week
like
in
the
pro
dirt
wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to record it yesterday. That's the only reason it's not up on Saturday. I'm sorry, guys.
We're back from hiatus and we're running through it.
So I'm trying to pull up the Halloween Havoc card so we can run through that.
Oh, I know the back of my. It's gonna be a good card. I'm actually excited for it.
Do me a favor, as off camera as you can. I want you to hand me the belt. I don't think it's been shown.
You have to
on
like
camera
look at
before.
like. I was like, I can't.
It's okay, you guys. Nobody can see it. No worries.
Oh my god.
So
I'll hand it to its rightful champion for now.
For now, you guys will see. I think it's gonna be Monday or Tuesday. There will be a championship match in Mortal Kombat. The way it's going to work, at least once a week, potentially twice, depending on just how the recording sessions go. We'll be doing championship matches for this beautiful belt, currently in the rightful hands of its owner.
Yeah, you ruined it. It's a great belt.
It is a great belt.
It's a beautiful belt. Top commentary got the elbow drop down the middle.
I honestly, I can't explain how happy I am about this, but we will have championship matches where the challenger gets to choose the game. The one this week, and maybe a second one. We haven't fully. It depends on how the recording session goes today. We may have 2, but the first one is Mortal Kombat 11. Which I still don't know if it downloaded all the characters, so we might just be stuck using like basic characters. I don't get to use my boy Johnny Cage.
Kano.
Kano is he is in there.
Kano is a vicious being.
But let's run through real quick. We're gonna run through the thing.
Yeah, so the title will be defended through predictions and via like our gaming kind of challenges. The gaming challenges be more kind of sporadic because pay-per-views kind of get like at stretches where it's kind of just like a lengthy while, and we like to kind of like switch it up. And plus, with like us mentioning like a few more people, we won't be the only ones competing for the title.
Yes, and the gaming challenges will not have punishments, but the predictions videos will. What's the next pay-per-view? Is it Crown Jewel?
Yes,
I think Crown Jewel,
November 5th. Yeah.
Yep. So next week we'll record the predictions video for that.
Which I think this past Friday they just confirmed that Strowman versus Omos is going to be set for that too. Like Crown Jewel, as I understand as much as
Saudi
people,
stuff, but it's usually at least half decent shows.
It's half decent, but this year, weirdly enough, it's probably going to be like a really good card, and like it's
Triple H.
But that's also like I know people don't want to watch it. A lot of people do like charity streams for it. I know Steven Larson do one.
If I am free, I will do a stream on Twitch reacting to it, but I don't know if I work or not. That being said, let's
see about that.
Let's run through Halloween Havoc real quick. We'll do it before we get into the topics. We're not going to go super into detail, but we are going to give our predictions. So the first match listed is Apollo Crews versus Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller.
In a spin the wheel, make the deal match. So I guess that's just a spin the wheel random match stipulation.
I kind of hate the spin the wheel, make the deal, because they never really they don't really make a deal. Like they spin the wheel and like it should just be like a roulette. Like
just like, call it it's like raw roulette.
Yeah, if they're gonna make a deal, there should be like some like okay, like we're like this is what we're wagering on this spin. Whatever match it lands on, these are like the stipulations for it.
That being said, who do you got?
Actually, I got Apollo Crews. Like Apollo Crews has been like Grayson Waller and Apollo Crews have been in kind of this back and forth on NXT. Yeah, and Waller's basically like for a weird
He's
spell
got more of the upper hand.
Yeah, but for a weird spell, Apollo Crews had like precognition sight, like he could see things before they were happening, and the only person that was bringing it up was Grayson Waller. So then, like, he, like, injured his eye during a match and, won. So, Apollo Crews has been kind of fighting back off that.
For the record, these predictions are not for the title. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, this is because Halloween Havoc is today as we're recording these. So,
and I'm not caught up yet on NXT. I'm catching up after the recording session. I have one episode. That being said, I'm going to go Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller.
I think Grayson Waller... he's got more of the future, so I think that's kind of where they're trying to build to.
See, I get that, but I feel like this is going to be one of those women where Grayson Waller just has to take his lumps. Because he's come out, since he's been in NXT, he's come out on top of a lot of his feuds.
He has. He kicked Johnny Gargano out of NXT, and I still have a problem with that.
I mean, but hey, it's full circle.
Oh, yeah. But then you got Julius Creed versus Damon Kemp in an ambulance match. If Julius loses, Brutus Creed leaves NXT, which I assume would also mean that Julius leaves.
No, I think Julius would. The weird part is, I think Julius would stay, but also I think that would mean like Brutus would go up to main, which just given their name, the fact that they named them Brutus and Julius, like like
Brutus is turning.
But also, can you imagine like Damon Kemp winning? Julius like losing, so Brutus is just gone, but like he just wanders himself like eventually to Raw or SmackDown, and just kind of like. He's basically just trying to like earn, like he's no longer in a tag team, so he just has to like really like fend on his own, and he starts to turn heel, or he joins Alpha Academy.
Oh yes,
you imagine like Brutus and Otis,
Gable. That's all I need.
Gable would show up to me and be like, Diamond Mine was one thing, but I know something everybody else is. You're an Alpha. Like, and then like it would be perfect because then you would have Julius eventually come up too. And then try to talk to Brutus, and Brutus was basically just like stiff arm, just kind of like you threw away what we had, like you. So with that said, I'm going with Damon Kemp because also Damon Kemp is the better Stevenson brother. It's looking like.
Oh, he 100% is. It's not even close.
Naturally, his promos have been going off really well too.
That being said, I also think Damon Kemp. So we got Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade. I love both of these women. They're so fucking good.
They are. I think a little bit more work on the mic for both of them will like eventually like get there. Like I feel like
who they both remind me of is AJ Lee. They both really.
I get that from like an aesthetic. Like I definitely get that, but I don't think they're like
Cora's like personality too. At least before she was heel. That's why AJ literally has claimed her as one of her wrestling kids, like Bailey. I think she did for Cora Jade as well. Like she's like publicly endorsed both of these women.
I like because Cora Jade, like I like better now that she's kind of like ditched like the skater thing, and she's getting more like into like her gimmick and like get into her character. So her promos are starting to get a little bit more like
doing the promo.
Her promos are starting to get a little bit more like a little bit smoother.
Yeah,
but. I think she just needs that like that extra like kick in like the way she talks, like that extra just like sting if she's gonna be a heel. I feel a heel.
You said sting?
That is actually a really really cool shirt. That's from the unboxing.
It is from the unboxing. It's not my favorite shirt out of the unboxing. The Mick Foley one is, but I wore that yesterday. Foley is great.
So. Shout out Mick Foley.
Dude, it's so good. It's him as Leatherface. I fucking love it.
And for Roxanne. Like Roxanne in the ring,
she's so young. She has so much time to get much better.
And I feel like
she's great already.
I feel like once her promos get there, she's gonna hit a trajectory where she starts like winning a lot of gold, kind of like an early Alexa Bliss. Like when Alexa Bliss was just kind of killing it on the mic, but then her in ring was also being able to like back that up.
Yeah. So who do you got winning? It's a Weapons Wild match.
Weapons Wild, I would say it's probably going to be Roxanne because
I'm thinking that too.
No, actually, no. I'm gonna alter. I'm gonna flip it. Cora because
Cora?
Because I'm gonna explain it because it's gonna be another match on the card that I think it's gonna determine
the women's championship match.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my theory is that one of these two women will take the belt off of Mandy Rose.
See, okay, I think. Well, let's just go ahead and jump.
We'll go to the next match.
Let's go into the women's title. So it's Mandy Rose versus Alba Fire. I think Alba Fire is going to take this title off of Mandy.
I want her to. I love Kaylee Ray. She's one of my favorite women's wrestlers. Or Alba Fire. Kaylee Ray.
I
Fuck
think,
that.
I think what it's going to be is it's going to be Toxic Attraction that cost Mandy the title. It's not going to be directly Sonya. It's going to be Toxic Attraction.
Okay,
and then
so we're going to get Mandy and Sonya back?
Yeah, we're going to get Mandy and Sonya back, and they're basically going to snap on Toxic Attraction. They're both going to go to main, and that's going to be 2 more tag teams for the women's tag team, like champion, like
I support it.
Damage Control. And I think since Alba Fire is going to win that, Cora Jade would be the next step.
Cora versus Alba.
And then I would say you have them like extend like a nice little feud, or you have basically Roxanne going, "Nah, Cora, I'm not done with you yet," and they go to a third match, and you get a buffer in between Cora and Alba, and then eventually Alba goes either to main as a singles and does that, and then you can revisit Cora and Roxanne again, because now you can have Alba being like heel, being either heel or babyface, and then you can choose Cora or Roxanne to challenge for that. And I think them taking it off of Alba will be a better signifier that this is gonna be like the women that carry on this generation of like NXT's like.
To be fair, Mandy has held it for a long time, so whoever takes that belt off of her, I feel like has to have a short reign. Which
I think it'll be Alba Fire, because there's not an unless once we talk about the men's NXT like heavyweight champ, like their main title, only Pretty Deadly are the only like UK champions that have come over and like held a gold. So I think having Alba Fire like hold that would also be a good sign for like NXT like Europe going like forward.
Oh, I agree.
Especially if she wins it now, carries it until the end of the year, and before NXT Europe, she drops it to Cora or Roxanne, and then does either NXT Europe or to main.
I just realized that does bother me that the tag team titles aren't on the line tonight.
Oh,
But I want Alba Fire. So
I always love a good ladder match, because we got the
last NXT North American Championship ladder match that was a multi-man like this was 5 stars.
It's the NXT North American ladder match. It's Carmelo Hayes, Wesley, Ora Mensah, and Von Wagner
and Nathan Frazier.
And then, because him and Axiom just had the
best,
the last match of their best of 3, and Nathan Frazier.
Who was Oro Mensah?
He was Oliver. He was Cameron Oliver or Oliver Jordan, and I think he was Oliver Jordan in NXT UK. He's an NXT UK guy that's.
They changed another name.
Yeah, but he explained it though. Like he cut a promo explaining like I think Oro means gold, and I forgot what Mensa means. He explained
fine.
They explained the name change.
It's not the worst name.
Yeah,
so.
But I think
who do you think's winning this?
Wesley, because Carmelo Hayes attempted
murder. He attempted murder.
But then also, it's the best feud going out of this, because
100%.
You can.
You finally get Wesley versus Carmelo Hayes 1-on-1 with Wesley getting the win, holding the title after this.
But you can also spin it off into Von Wagner and Nathan Frazier.
Yeah, and then Oro Mensah is just kind of there.
I mean, it's a showcase for him.
Yeah,
it's pretty much I think he's only had maybe a couple matches.
Who made their debut? Was it Ricochet that made his debut in that ladder match?
I think their debut in that ladder match, because the NXT Northern it was basically all new guys.
So Lars didn't. Lars was in there.
Didn't.
Velveteen didn't. Velveteen Dream didn't. Who else was in there? EC3.
EC3 made his debut in that.
Did he?
Yeah.
And then I think Ricochet did. I can't remember, because I know he showed up at the last NXT before that takeover and did the little flippy shit to do his cool pose in the middle of the ring.
They've also brought back, which I'm excited to see tonight. They brought back in the crowd, like basically like superstars in the crowd. Cause what was the last pay per view that just went on?
Well, World's Collide?
No, it was Extreme Rules.
Yes.
They showed Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker was in the crowd, but then also Nikita Lyons was like in the crowd as well. And then I think they showed somebody else. I can't. But I wouldn't be surprised if like they show like some new signings or some people from NXT UK that are going to be more like widely like shown.
So I also think Wesley. I just think he's got like they've been building up to him winning that title for a while now.
Because I don't like Carmelo Hayes. Like he can win it. I just don't think there's not a lot. If he does win it, it's not going to be a lot of mileage out of him winning it. Like if he wins it, I don't see him having like a reign similar to what he just had.
If they do it, they only do it to have him tie Johnny. And I don't think I love Carmelo Hayes. I don't think he should tie Johnny.
It's not that I don't think he should. I don't think he just needs to. Like,
that's what I mean. Because he should go up to the next belt or the main.
Yeah, because
I put him at the NXT Championship, which that title match should be a banger. You got Braun Breaker, you got Ilya Dragunov, and you got JD McDumbass.
Did you see JD? Oh wait, you said you're Kevin Owens on this latest episode of NXT.
Yes, exactly what I was referencing.
No, JD don't Google my name.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a banger of a match.
Yeah, so hopping right into that one.
We got winning this. I know, like my heart says Ilya Dragunov. He never lost the NXT UK title.
Your heart says Ilya Dragunov. My mind says Austin.
Dude, I'd
see that's the thing.
Here's the thing: do you think he cashes in mid-match, or does he cash in after the match?
He cashes in mid-match because there's already a referee there.
There'll be a referee there after the match.
Well, I mean, after the match still, but there's
like while the ref's holding up the winner's hand.
Because basically what it's gonna be is like Braun's gonna like hit JD. Like JD's gonna like either try to hit like a devil inside on like Ilya, and basically Braun's like as he's trying to like pull Ilya up, Braun's gonna like spear the mess out of JD, and then just turn around, catch like a torpedo from like Ilya. Blasted by Austin Theory, and then he's just like I'm like basically
hits him with
shoving
the ataxia.
Yeah,
or that's not his finisher anymore, is it? It's the A-Town down now.
Yeah,
right?
it's basically like the spin out TKO.
Yeah,
and basically just shoving it in the referee like I'm cashing in like basically like give it to him.
First person ever cash it on the NXT belt makes NXT. I'm all for it. I support it. I mean
because
he teased it.
Having him go back to NXT for a minute now would honestly do him good.
Yeah,
because the main roster right now, especially with the returns and with the way they're booking like the US and the IC belt with like the players that they have in tow, waiting for him to come back and maybe like post WrestleMania would be really good.
I agree. I fully agree. With that being said, we're kind of at the 20-minute mark, so let's move into topic one. We'll start with your topic.
Well, I had mentioned Full Circle earlier, and basically the Red Circle. The thing that's been lighting the wrestling world ablaze over the past, it's only been like a month or two?
I would say, yeah, about 2 months with the hidden stuff.
It's the Wyatt 6. This, Bray Wyatt's return is easily going to go down. This return itself at Extreme Rules is going to go down as one of the best returns in wrestling history. Easily a top 10 candidate. Just the crowd reaction, especially being in a place like they were in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were especially with the Philadelphia crowd. Just the overwhelming atmosphere, and just to see him stand, didn't even say a word, just opened the door, stood through it, said I'm here, cut. Everything.
It was such a good return.
Didn't do too much, wasn't too extra, didn't do too much parading and the build up to Bray Wyatt's return, the QR codes that they're doing, the little kind of even
it was so unique. I can't think of anything that's ever been so subtly hinted at. Because did they have a single obvious hint on TV leading up to that?
No, but then also the amount of attention Karrion Kross was getting too, because it was referencing some of his stuff in Lucha Underground, and him having to fiercely combat.
Because he was the White Rabbit. Evolution Underground. But also, like, there was stuff that it referenced Malachi Black. It referenced Finn Balor. It referenced Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, like a lot of
I think it even referenced Priest at one point.
Like, there was even another QR code on this week's, like, on yesterday's SmackDown that led to Bray Wyatt's, like, psychiatric evaluation.
Yes, I saw that.
And they're like, he hasn't even stepped in a ring. He hasn't even stood face to face with anyone, like, on the roster yet. He's like, all this is solely addressing, like, us as the audience, like, us as the fans.
Yeah.
And it's just what we wanted. Like, we know the character and the history of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And him coming back and, so like, exciting. Basically, like, stringing it along in, like, the path of Bray Wyatt. If you had to put it up, like, on a board, it would be like one of those cork board, like the meme from, like, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where it's just like a bunch of strings everywhere, and you're just like, referenced it. Like, they had a YouTube channel that only was uploading, like, classic 80s, like, rock, like, music videos. Somehow acquired that channel, privated, like, majority of the videos except the Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit, and then, like, another QR code video. Like, the amount of, like,
I didn't even know about that one. That's
like
awesome.
The amount of, like, internal, like there were, like, geological, like, location codes, like, hidden in some QR codes.
I did see that. It usually led to whatever the next, like, Raw or SmackDown was.
Actually, I want to look it up, and I want to know if it actually picks it up. There's actually a phone number that you can call.
So while you do that, I'm going to run through what we're talking about with this topic is, like, what is the Wyatt Six? There's two leading theories. While he looks that up, I'm going to not go super in detail on it. But the first theory is that it's a faction led by Bray Wyatt, and that each one of those, the puppets, if you will, that showed up during his return is a member of the faction. There are a lot of theories as to who's in that faction. We'll get into that. The next, just write it anywhere. It's fine. You can use that if you need to. The other theory is that it's 6 personalities of Bray Wyatt, because we've seen him. He's had countless different gimmicks and personalities and all that. So the other, the second theory is that it is his 6 personas, and I think that's really interesting. You gotta put that on speaker.
Oh no, I haven't even typed it yet. All
right, he's gonna put on.
So
speaker.
This is a phone number from a QR code.
What? Does your thing go louder by chance?
No.
I don't know what it's saying.
It's saying no, not me.
Sounds like it says, no, not me, I'd never do that.
Or no, not me, he knows. Oh, okay, so it's not me, I never lost control.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So, just even the fact that you can call that, like,
cool. I love it.
The amount of investment this character has been getting into, Bray Wyatt, when he approaches anybody, is going to be such a frightening person to interact with, that once he does pick a target, it's going to send, like, which is why I think after Roman loses and he goes on, like, a conquest to, like, regain, like, basically, like, the belt, I think it should be Wyatt that takes him out, like, until he comes back, like, until, like,
take him out for a couple months.
Yeah, until, like, I think it should be, like, basically, like, have Wyatt build this thing up, like, to Mania of kind of like fighting, like, some of, like, his inner demons.
Mm-hmm.
Because kind of what you were talking to while I was looking, like, the number of, like, it could be his 6 different personalities. So, like, having another cinematic match where it's Bray fighting his demons, but in the end, it's not, like, fighting them to, like, be free. It's fighting them for control. So now he's basically just he basically is just a controlled monster, and then he starts to, like, Roman going through, WrestleMania. If Roman, loses, potentially to, loses the belt and basically, have Roman's pride and his ego be the thing Wyatt feeds off of. So basically, like, Wyatt targets Roman. Roman tries to, mess with, like, I smashed you and stacked you once. Like, I'm God, like, I'm invincible.
Yeah.
And basically, Wyatt picks apart the bloodline, kind of like the real, like, he basically does that last final tear and basically rips the bloodline, like, apart. So basically, Roman is now alone and vulnerable, and then he basically just, like, almost kind of like how he did Cena, like, he just, like, blips him.
Like a funhouse match.
Yeah, almost.
Dude, that match,
and he just, like...
Both of those matches were really good, but that first one, so much better. The Orton one kind of sucked.
And he just, like... He basically... and throughout it, he can slowly turn Roman, like, face. Basically putting Wyatt as, like, a mirror up to Roman that's saying now... Everybody's coming to your rescue. Everybody's coming to save you. Now you have to save them, Roman. Like, basically, like, I have all these people in the palm of my hand. And now, like, you have to... Are you really their tribal chief? Are you really their savior?
I like that.
And it coming back to, like, you can have Roman come back to a massive pop, but then also Wyatt does that to Roman. It also makes him look just like... It took almost 2 years for somebody to take the belt off of Roman, and in a matter of months, Wyatt has blipped him from WWE.
Yeah.
Like,
so the 6 personalities referenced: Huskus, obviously Husky Harris.
Yeah, Husky Harris. His previous NXT like gimmick before he switched to Bray.
Yeah, he was on the main roster as that too.
Yeah,
in Nexus. Mercy would be NXT Bray.
A tank with a Ferrari engine. Oh, that should have been a reference in one of the QR codes.
We still have time.
A tank with a Ferrari emblem.
So, we then have Mercy's NXT Bray.
Yeah. Follow me.
Abby
in the rocking chair
is the Wyatt family.
Yeah, because that's the person that they
Sister Abigail.
Mm-hmm.
Ramblin' Rabbit, they say, is just Wyndham Rotunda himself. So it's Bray without the character. What we saw in that first promo back.
Because they say like the rambling part, because he typically is like very long winded about his like promo, like so he could just typically just like talk to them just like he's just rambling.
Yeah. So and then the Fiend is obviously the Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least,
dark side.
The 6th member would be the White Rabbit. The Mask that we have seen a couple of times now talking to Bray. But we also saw him wearing the mask at Extreme Rules. He took the mask off, so we know that is a version of Bray Wyatt. We know that is something to do with Bray.
Also, I think it's important that in that promo that he was cutting, like after he said, like, you guys like saved me, like you guys like saved my life, that's when it cut him off.
Yeah.
And then basically like the mask was kind of like almost berating just like Bray.
Yeah.
And then I think it's going to be like a mist of where like...
I think it's like a Green Goblin thing. The mask is like, it makes him evil kind of deal.
I think the mask... I think it's kind of like an inverse. The mask is who he really is.
Yeah.
And he takes it off to be less frightening to people.
Yeah. So... It's kind of like how Batman wears the mask. That's who he is. He's not Bruce Wayne is a fake persona in a way, and that Bray Wyatt that we saw is a fake persona.
Yeah, the Bray Wyatt that we saw. Like I think like this promo was so good because it was. You could definitely tell it was
genuine.
It was genuine, but
not for the character. It was genuine for Wyndham Rotunda.
Yeah, it was genuine for him, but it
was not genuine for Bray Wyatt. So, which I really liked. So, the other leading theory is that this is a faction. Low key, I love this. I think the 6 personalities, like you said, cinematic match. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not a cinematic match, and he does like a 3 Faces of Foley, but with 6, that'd be fucking sick.
I want him then, not this year, but next year,
to show up in the Rumble 6 times.
All 6, but then Mick Foley has to show up as all 3. I need it in my veins.
1/3 of the Rumble entrance is just Mick Foley and Bray Wyatt. Honestly, it would be amazing It would be so good.
Actually, you know what? They should just have a cinematic match themselves where it's just all different faces of Foley.
Can Mick still take a bump, though? If it's a cinematic match, you can make work because he doesn't have to actually take a bump.
No, I want it to be a cinematic match where, like, Mick Foley basically steps through a mirror and, like, basically all of his cells, like, split.
All 4. No, 5. Add Santa.
No, we're just Santa Mick does not need to be involved in this buffoonery.
Do it around Christmas time. It's fine. But
that man has a Santa room. He is Christmas.
So we're gonna mention each puppet, and then we're going to each give our take on who we think it is.
Okay.
So the first one, Huskus the pig. I think it's Joe Gacy.
Okay, and I do think it's Joe, but I'll try to like not pick the same person, just like for like the plethora of options.
Yeah.
You said Huskus?
Yeah.
Is Joe Gacy?
I think it's Joe Gacy. There's not honestly really anyone else it could be that I could think of.
Commander Aziz. Just a big, if you're just going for like a big body, I mean, because like in the sense, like I feel like if it is a faction,
that'd be very interesting.
We
know he's white though.
Because I thought the pick. Oh,
you can kind of see through it.
Oh, you can kind of see through it.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, it's Brutus.
I like that. I think Brutus would be good
because it would play into it well.
Aziz being the rabbit though, because that rabbit was fucking huge.
No, if it's the rabbit, it's always a high flyer. And because you're gonna
Justin Gabriel is back as the bunny, baby.
No, the white. So you would say Joe Gacy? I think
Joe Gacy.
I would say Brutus because especially if Damon Kemp wins.
Yeah,
and Brutus is gone.
Imagine Brutus screws Julius though. And that's their way of turning him heel before he goes up and joins Wyatt.
I mean, that wouldn't make.
It'd make perfect sense. His name's fucking Brutus.
I mean, but that's why you wait. You wait till you wait for the payoff.
People said that about DIY, and guess what? That was the best payoff NXT has ever done.
Yeah, and they waited for it because they had it at the Cruiserweight Classic.
Well, that's what they did, but they did it in NXT, and that.
I mean, yeah, but they saved it for
It wouldn't have been as good on the main roster. Let's be honest.
Well, that's because, it was a different atmosphere, different time period.
Yeah, it wasn't under Triple H if it was main roster.
I feel like the long-term booking of Brutus eventually turning on Julius, because everybody, with their names, everybody knows it's coming. I feel like the longer you wait on it.
So, next you got Mercy the Buzzard. I think it's Grayson Waller.
Yeah, which is also...
He wears that shirt. He wore the same shirt.
He wears that...
I think
and it is somebody that's tall and lanky, but also... with the voice that Mercy has just from being like the puppet.
He could probably be done real well by Waller.
He doesn't have you clearly saw in Mercy that it was pretty much somebody more like white. But I think it's all people from NXT. So I
don't think it's all, but I think a lot of it is.
I would go Zion Quinn though.
He was the one that was with Xia Li, right? For a little bit.
No, you're thinking of Boa.
I am thinking of Boa.
No, Zion Quinn. He's like this tall, Australian.
Yes,
I think I think just with the way Mercy talks and just the way his natural voice cadence is already, and plus Mercy's just this tall kind of walking lumber.
He was tall. Waller's kind of tall, isn't he?
Yeah, Waller's tall.
He's a tall dude. But yeah, I did notice that he was a very tall character. So next we go to Sister Abigail. Who are you thinking? You think it's all NXT, so I'm very curious who you're...
Sister Abigail? I would... What's her name from UK? I think she... Ooh, I hope she didn't get released.
So the leading theory is Alexa Bliss, but I don't want it to be Bliss.
If she didn't get released, I'm not 100%. Isla Dawn from NXT UK.
That'd be really good.
She would be... perfect, because that was already her gimmick in UK.
Yeah. So
her joining Wyatt would make 10 out of 10 sense.
So I think Bliss would do great because she fucking bodies.
Bliss would do good.
That she every character she's had, she does perfect. I don't want Alexa Bliss with Bray Wyatt again. It's been done.
I think it should be a red herring that it's Alexa.
I want Liv. I want Liv.
See, I think it should be. I don't think it'll be Liv. I think Liv, they're kind of taking her more on just she's gonna be the Sandman of the women's division. She's just gonna be like, just like
she's gonna body it.
She's just gonna be a reckless.
I
just
didn't
like
hate her I didn't hate her championship run. So many people talked so much shit on it. I thought it was a decent run.
I don't think it was decent. I think it was underwhelming.
Yeah.
Because
I can agree on that. It was a little underwhelming. It was booked kind of poorly.
I think
she put on really good matches.
I think there should have been more space between her and Ronda. I think her and Ronda shouldn't have fought until.
I think she's got the Hangman issue in that she puts on like fucking bangers as champion, but they just didn't really book it very well.
Yeah, but going back, like I think Isla Dawn would like be really good because that was Abby the Witch, right?
Yes. Yep.
And you say Liv?
She would be. I think Liv.
Yeah, because I mean, with the dark turn that they're trying to give her, I think it would definitely be interesting. But
I was shaking it somehow.
And then, so I think the last is the Fiend, right?
Let's see. Well, there's Ramblin' Rabbit.
Oh, Ramblin' Rabbit. So
the top suggestion for that is Eric Rowan. I think they're doing that just because of his height.
Oh, actually, Eric Rowan for Mercy.
Oh, that could be really good.
In hindsight, Eric, that would be my pick for Mercy.
Who's a tall high flyer though? If you're thinking high flyer for
let me try to pull up the picture that they had of like the Wyatt.
Oh, the Wyatt 6. I might have.
So that way I can see.
While you pull that up, I'm going to. So we joked about Justin Gabriel. I think he'd actually be really good. Because he was PJ Black. He did some stuff. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm just throwing something out here.
Yeah. Okay. So
it looks like.
So all of
Mercy's definitely the tallest. It looks like.
Yeah, Mercy's definitely the tallest, but it seems like as far as
similar heights.
Yeah, they're all kind of similar heights, and
Liv wouldn't be a good height for Liv.
Yeah, I think that's just somebody like standing in for to see better on camera.
I think it's just. I don't think they're actually going to be under those masks. I think it's just the physical representation of the characters.
Yeah, because
I
think they all would have to be like. I mean, Mercy's the tallest, so Mercy's probably like whoever they're picking for Mercy is probably like 6'6" and up. So everybody else is probably like between like 6'2" and lower. So
I'm just throwing out a random answer here, or a random suggestion. Because we mentioned the Lucha Underground work, I'm going to go with Paul London for Ramblin' Rabbit.
That would be such a deep cut
to bring back. So good, though.
It'd be such a,
everyone knows. Here's the thing.
I think he's still under contract.
With who?
No. I was thinking Evan Bourne. I was thinking Matt Sydal.
No,
I think he's still under.
Give me Paul London.
I was a big people. People didn't like. I found out a lot of people didn't like that tag team he was in with Brian Kendrick.
What?
They actually
the ladder match with the Hardys and Eminem.
They actually had a name, but I think they never people never said it. They actually had like a name, but they were just called London and Kendrick.
I always call them London and Kendrick. But yeah, so I'm looking up tag team name London and Kendrick. The Hooligans.
They actually had a name, and I think obviously you just don't want to call them hooligans, so they just said London and Kendrick.
So, wow, that's kind of a mindfuck. And then we go to the Fiend. What do you think the Fiend's gonna be?
I mean, all signs point to Bo Dallas.
I'm thinking about
all signs are pointing to Bo Dallas, but if they want to make it interesting like that, I'd say Joe Gacy should be the Fiend.
And put Bo as Huskus.
I
think Bo's got to be in the group.
Bo as Huskus would be good, but it'd also be cool that if Bo came back and everybody thinks he's going to be in the faction,
and then he's just not.
He's not, but he's the one that
is against them.
Yeah, is against Bray.
That'd be sick. That'd make it work really well.
It would be cool to for Wyatt to have his Wyatt 6, and for Bo to come back and almost be archangelish almost. He's basically he not directly Bo leave, but basically he's not
his own cult.
He's not a good guy either, but he poses himself as he's
the brother from Far Cry 5, the Just Say Yes brother.
Yeah.
What is that? That's not Joseph. John Seed? I think it is.
Yeah, the Baptist one. Yeah, that cut everything. Yeah, he's him.
Dude, that's what I wanted the House of Black to be, was just the cult from Far Cry 5. That would have been cool. Awesome. And then obviously the last one, we saw the burnt fiend head. That just, I think, was just there.
Yeah, that was just there.
The last one, obviously, the White Rabbit is Bray Wyatt. We know that much already. Overall, I think it's got so much potential. Like,
you want to know what would also be kind of hilarious if like Bray is in the ring with somebody like talking, and he's just like talking, and they're just like mid promo, especially if it's somebody like Seth or like Miz or somebody that just like gets like real fired up and like real intense and just starts like spewing out, and he just pulls out a pocket watch and he goes, "I'm late." He doesn't like it when I'm late. And he just like run like essentially like the White Rabbit and like Allison. It'd be so like freaky, but then like
it's like who's he scared of? Who's Bray Wyatt afraid of? And then it's Bo Dallas. Bo's the leader of the whole thing.
That would be
low key. That'd be good. Bo Dallas is real. He is genuinely. He's a very good promo. He's very good in the ring. He's one of those guys that I'm surprised Vince dropped the ball that hard on, because he could have been so good.
But also, you want to know what would be really cool though too is Bray's also can be built up to being like the one person that as soon as he has like his first loss like against like somebody, it's a little bit like meaningful and impactful. Mm-hmm. But for basically, Bray needs to usher in a sense of hopelessness to like the roster. Like there needs to be like a like, it's sad to say, but there needs to be like a Ricochet or like somebody like that like is building like a mini feud with like Bray, trying to like stop him, but is going around going around asking for help and like talking to people, like even going to people like Seth and just like, you know, I know like people that have experience with Wyatt and just like, I know you've had run-ins with him. I just really need people in my corner, like really people to like, you know, like back me up. And like everybody looks at him like he's crazy, and they're just like, I'm not going anywhere near him. I make sure I avoid, like people are so frightened of Bray that they're just like, I don't want to. So it also gives you a chance to introduce more NXT people, because you create a situation where that person's so desperate that they're just like
NXT.
Yeah, that they're just like, I just like.
But here's my question: who's the conquering hero that finally takes that, like, ends that hopelessness? Carmelo Hayes.
Because he don't miss.
You're just a huge fan of Hayes, I think.
Actually, Xavier Woods.
Woods would be really good.
Woods would be Woods needs a solo opportunity in a program to be like.
I want him versus
he would,
Walter.
But also he can play the hero. So Woods is easy.
Well, he did it for Kofi Mania in a way. Him and Big.
I mean, yeah, like he's easily the most emotional out of like the New Day.
100%. So counteroffer, Xavier Woods would be great. I'm thinking a young upstart that currently holds the Money in the Bank. Austin Theory, haven't been in NXT give him like a year and a half in NXT.
Are you trying to make him the Fred of this mystery incorporated group? Like,
first of all, he's obviously the Fred. Let's be honest. But he doesn't do it alone. He doesn't do it alone. He doesn't do it the right way.
Oh no!
He does it the Johnny Gargano way.
Are you gonna try to have like the way be the no?
Yeah, dude. Listen, just think of the visual that they have though. Whenever they were doing their entrance, like the bright blue light, like it, that versus like the darkness of Bray Wyatt would be such a great visual. And you have great wrestlers with Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory. He's great in the ring.
Also, speaking of that, I am interested to see what is the secret that is. I feel like it's something like Miz stole art or something like that from Dexter. Like Miz,
he commissioned it. He's like, oh, it's for the exposure.
Yeah, he basically like stole like some art or something like that. I feel like he stole something from Dexter.
I really wonder what it's gonna be. That's gonna be very interesting. We should move on to this next topic. Yeah, we're at the 45-minute mark.
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump in.
That's so my topic I'm bringing to the table is who should beat Roman Reigns for the title? Who should take the title off of Roman, and how would you do it?
Main event, Jey Uso. I'm sorry, Uso has been doing prime
He has been
real
killing
estate work. Like,
How would you build? This is the fantasy booking of the week.
fantasy. Okay, so fantasy. How I would book it. So basically, even yesterday,
That was really good.
Chef's kiss. Like, Jay is basically slow. Like, he's being like exposed as like the hothead, and the best way to do it is to have Roman basically say, "Give Sammy your title," and then Jay's like, "What?" And then he's like, "Give Sammy your title," and then he's just like,
So Sammy and Jimmy are tag team champs.
free birding it. Basically, almost no. Like, so now Sammy's like tag team champ. So Sammy's holding it up, doing like the We the Ones, and Jay is looking lost. Like, he is looking like deflated, defeated, because even Solo isn't giving him the support that he wants. And even Solo is just kind of sitting there, just kind of more just like, I mean, Sammy's been doing like work like this, and all under this guy's. And Jay basically stands up and he sits in there, he murmurs, and he just like, "I'm in the Royal Rumble." And then like Roman just goes, "What?" And he goes, "I'm in the Royal Rumble." And then like you're in the, says who? Since when? Like, Roman basically like I didn't say you were in the Royal Rumble, so you're not in the Royal Rumble. And Jay says, "I'm in the Royal Rumble, and ain't a damn thing you can do to stop me." Like, and like basically starting like this like bad like, and everybody's kind of like,
"Oh shit!"
Like, Jimmy is shocked. Like Jay like so then basically now you have like the lead up of like Roman like the following week just kind of being like, "You know what, Jay? It's 30 men out there. You have your opportunity. I'm willing to take you back into the fold." And you have Jay just cut an impassioned promo about everything that he's been feeling for the past year. How he tried
just 1 year.
Well, I mean, the past like two, like basically.
Since he was beaten into submission.
Yeah, basically like telling like all the things that he went through, and basically just kind of like saying how like everybody in the family has essentially turned like their back on him for Sammy. And it's basically like throughout this, he's pointing at Sammy as like the reason, but then also he says Roman is allowing it. Roman knows what is going on and is allowing it. So he says, so he's basically pointing at Roman's the fault for Sammy getting as much credit as he does. And basically like pushing that narrative. So throughout like the feuds, you have him basically going up against Solo. You have him go up against Jimmy first. Because basically like Roman's just like, Jimmy talks some sense into him. Jimmy talks some sense into him. Because next time I have him in Hell in a Cell, I'm basically I'm gonna end his career. Like basically threatening to and Jimmy's kind of caught in like a headspace. And then Jay basically breaks it to Jimmy, like, "You were the one that told me like I shouldn't be his right-hand man." Like, you basically kind of like chewing him out. And it also fueled, like, you do all this leading into Mania. So like now at a last ditch effort of Roman to like hold on to the bloodline as Jimmy slowly Jimmy wins the Royal Rumble, like I said. Like Jimmy wins the Royal Rumble. And you have basically like Roman, this is his last ditch effort to basically say, "I'm taking it's me." He challenges The Rock.
Okay.
He's challenging The Rock to try to basically be like, "It's me and you." And basically The Rock's trying to play. He's like, you have a whole Royal Rumble like
winner,
like that you're gonna go up against. If you beat him, then night 2 I'll face you. And basically now you weigh the tension of like Roman now
getting Rock versus
this is Roman, and now Jay really has like this big like weight on his shoulder.
But do you have Jimmy win and then you don't do Rock versus Roman?
Yeah, you have Jay win because then you say Rock versus Roman for next year.
So I have a similar idea because you did the you went with the whole he loses the title of this match.
Yeah.
So
I think Roman. I think like regardless of like who does it, I think Roman's losing the title at this Mania.
I have a counter idea, a counter option, if you will. I would do, move to the Royal Rumble, and we have Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns in a ladder match for both titles. You do the classic. They both come down with the title. That's how you split the belts. That way, the Rumble winner does not have to face Roman.
So you're splitting the belts.
I'm starting by splitting the belts.
Because in mine, I'm not splitting the belts.
So you move on to the Rumble. You get Jimmy and not Jimmy. Jay and Sammy are in the Rumble at the same time, and they're actually working together because you notice they've been on screen a lot lately, a lot more than they've been with any of the other Bloodline members.
Yeah.
Jay saves Sammy from being eliminated. They keep working together. Eventually, they both get eliminated by somebody. It doesn't matter who. It could be fucking Cody Rhodes. He goes on to win.
Yeah.
He faces Seth Rollins for the title at WrestleMania. You have Seth win at WrestleMania. I don't give a shit about that title. We're not booking that title. That's a different fantasy book.
I was gonna say, but you have Cody win the Rumble, and then you have Seth still go over.
Yes, because he's lost 3 times. You have Cody go over down the line at a Starrcade special pay-per-view.
You have Cody win that at Mania. Well, I mean, first of all, Seth doesn't need to be champ. Seth needs to beat Cody for it. Cody needs to win it at Mania. If Cody is the one to win it at Mania, you have Rollins take it off of him in Madison Square Garden.
I like that. I like that. That's different fantasy booking. We'll do that.
We'll
later
circle back to that next pod.
So that'll be one of our topics. So, Sammy and Jay get eliminated, but they're working together. Jay's warming up to Sammy. He's trusting him. Sammy's happy. That ladder match I mentioned, it was Sammy that accidentally screwed it up because the Bloodline's getting involved like they do in every Roman Reigns match. But it was Sammy, Rollins knocked Sammy into Roman so that Roman wasn't able to get up fast enough to grab both belts. Essentially, he cost Roman the WWE title.
So the ladder match is happening at Rumble.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the main event of the Rumble. No, not the main event. Because the main event will be the Rumble.
Depending on the championship, depending on the heavyweight championship matches, I don't mind if the Royal Rumble's good.
Yeah. In that case, I think that'd be a good main event, though. And then you can have, Roman keeps his Universal title. He keeps that historic reign going. But he's pissed off at Sammy. The Bloodline turns on Sammy. Jay actually is trying to stop them. He doesn't want to turn on the Bloodline, but he's been loyal. He's warmed up to Sammy. All this shit. So, you build up to Sami Zayn being saved by Kevin Owens. At WrestleMania, you get Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Or Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos. But Jay is reluctant to fight Sammy. He doesn't hate Sammy anymore. And he doesn't feel like Sammy should have been turned on, all that. But you have Owens and Zayn go over in a banger of a match, because it's going to be amazing. Mm-hmm. You spend the next few months building up, having Kevin kind of help Sammy get his confidence back. Because he said in that promo, he said, "You're one of the greatest wrestlers in the world, and you don't even know it." Have him build that confidence back up. We get more Sami Zayn, NXT Sami Zayn.
I think he's going to cut his hair. When he cuts 100%. His hair, I think that's when we're going to get big change Sami Zayn.
Yes. Big match Sammy back.
Big match Sammy.
At Mania, you do The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and Roman goes over. He keeps the belt.
I don't know why, but I just thought of another weird fantasy booking situation.
It's all right. We'll get there. Hold on, we'll get there. You do, you keep the belt on for a little bit. They lose it to the Street Profits, right? Or, American Alpha Academy. So a good tag team that can,
a solid tag.
Yeah. Come into SummerSlam, you have the Intercontinental Champion Solo Sikoa. Sammy wins a battle royal or something.
Gets number one opportunity.
Gets number one contendership. You had the built-in story. You do Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa, and he beats Solo Sikoa for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, he holds on to this for 2 months. Solo gets the belt back because Sammy gets screwed by Roman and the Bloodline. Not Jay, though. Jay's still not there. You're sort of fracturing the Bloodline slowly.
So this is SummerSlam. Yes. You're saying. So at Mania,
Roman beats Rock. He holds the title still.
So Roman is still champion going in like year 3.
Yes, because I feel like it makes him more impactful. Like it's still impactful whoever beats him for the title, but it makes him more impactful. But he's beaten Solo. He gets screwed by Roman and the rest of the bloodline, so Solo gets the belt back. Mm-hmm. You go into the Rumble, and you do Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship again, because Jay's been like sort of fighting against the bloodline here in their assaults on Sammy.
Yeah, so this is some long-term booking I'm talking. Yeah, so basically this feels like we're getting towards the end and it's like tying up loose ends.
Yes. You put on an incredible match. Jay loses, but he barely loses. Right? Royal Rumble comes. Sami Zayn enters at number 1. Jimmy Uso enters at number 2. Solo Sikoa enters at number 3. You just keep he has to fight the bloodline essentially, but Sammy goes the distance from number 1 to number 30, and the last 2 in there, Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso.
I mean, Jay or Jimmy?
Jimmy, because Jay just had that title match.
Okay,
he got his ass beat. Like he's not ready for a Royal Rumble. Like. But the last 2 is number 1 and 2, Sammy and Jimmy. Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble. Says to Roman Reigns, I'm coming for you and I'm taking that championship. You have this long-term emotional story that's been going for, he's been with the Bloodline now, like 6 months at this point in real life? So a year and a half, this long story. At WrestleMania, the main event, you could do night 1 or night 2. It does kind of bother me that it's 2 nights. It feels weird.
I've grown accustomed to the 2 nights. But I like it.
We'll do night 2 because I feel like that's the real main event of WrestleMania, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like speaking on the WrestleMania, like the 2, I like it. I mean, I feel like it gives...
I don't hate it. It's just, I'm not used to it yet.
Yeah, I feel like it gives more opportunity for people to get on like the WrestleMania card. But then it also, I feel like since they make it a weekend and they stretch it out, it doesn't feel just like such a, all right, and it's the end, and then we got Monday Night, and then it's just like back to...
See, what I liked...
Like a quick turnover.
What I liked was when they did a takeover on Saturday and they did WrestleMania on Sunday. I thought that was better, but whatever. New Japan does it too, and it's just weird. Wrestle Kingdom's 2 nights.
WrestleMania night 1 should be NXT. Like they should do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Actually, that would be a cool concept. Like it'd be WrestleMania takeover.
Yeah, exactly. And then the main event of WrestleMania Night 2, Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. Give him like 50 minutes. Give him a long main event. Think it's like a Brett versus like Brett versus not Austin, Michaels. Like
Iron Man,
like length, but not an Iron Man match, but just like that length. Sami Zayn pulls it out after give him like fucking 6.5 star match. Because let's be honest, we know they're both capable of it at this point. It'd be such a feel good moment. Sami Zayn holding the belt, Betty coming down, all the faces are coming out, walking down the ramp. Kevin Owens turns on him, fucking apron power bombs him.
Oh, just the retelling?
Yes.
Are you just redoing NXT?
Yes. But tell me, that'd be sick. Think of the heat.
Oh yeah, it'd be massive heat. But then it would also
But you don't have Kevin Owens take the goddamn belt off of him that quick.
That's what everyone's gonna do.
Or here even better. You get in WrestleMania on a high note. Sammy holds it till SummerSlam, beats somebody. It could even be the rematch from Roman, and then Kevin turns on him after SummerSlam.
Oh, it would be cool. Basically, Kevin Owens helps him retain, only to turn on him and be like, "Nobody's taking that from me."
But me, yes, I think that'd be awesome. I think that'd be a great long-term booking. I wouldn't be against Roman holding the belt so long if he just had one. I don't like that he has both. That really is my only issue. What was that one that you were holding in?
So it wasn't with the same championship either, but I was just Cena should come back and to try to do the whole Grand Slam thing.
I'll go for the US.
He should go for the Intercontinental. I think he should go against Walter. And that would be...
I think that's a great topic for the next podcast.
Missed title opportunity. Oh, we should definitely
We're
take a
gonna
look
do one fantasy booking scenario every single week at least.
Definitely.
But we're hitting the hour mark.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. If you're still here,
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been
if
a
you're
long
still
one.
here, comment down below. Who do you think should take the title off of Roman? And also, who do you think might also be in the Wyatt 6? What is your kind of take on Bray Wyatt's return?
Yep, I'm gonna look into putting this on Spotify.
Oh yeah, for the audio platform.
Audio listeners, love you to death.
Well, if you're listening to us, don't forget to rate, review.
Yeah.
Us up.
Let us know if you're watching on YouTube. Let us know in the comments what we can do to improve. We should have better audio quality soon. As soon as the state of Florida decides to pay me, we will have 2 Shure SM7B microphones.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we're gonna really high quality. Probably a new camera too.
We're gonna improve so you see all this SmackDown blue and HD.
Thank you guys. Much love.
See.
I don't know why I kept going for that one.